Hey guys, Blake here with another video. If you're new to the channel, my name is Blake, this is Blake's Aquatics, and these are my fish tanks. We're going to do a full fish room tour today. It's been a couple of months or so let's jump straight into the video. So in the last month or so, a lot has happened, so I figured it was time to do a new full fish room tour. All the tanks are looking clean and everything, so that's a good start. We'll just start wandering around and we'll talk about what's going on in the fish room. So to get started, it makes sense, I think, to start off with the new DIY rack that I just built. If you didn't catch that video, it was a super simple build, and I'll put a card above now. But unfortunately, I didn't measure it quite right, so it is a bit less than 3 foot wide. So what I've done is actually just crammed as much tanks as I can. So we've got the Fluval Evo here and just a cube tank there. I think it's an 11-inch cube, and then down below we've got the DIY paludarium here with just some white clouds in the tank. You can see my hand there, but yeah, so a nice little school of white clouds in there, and there's a pumpway at the back that circulates water up and across, and that's what waters all the bromeliads and such that are in there. Next, we got a brand new Scape that I just put together the other day, so a bit of a hillside Iwagumi Scape there. So that's in the dry start method phase right now, so I'm just going to basically let it grow in. I've got the tank sealed up, and we'll give it about 4 weeks or so, and it should be all carpeted out in the Monte Carlo. Next door to that, I've got the 10-inch cube here with some micro crabs in there, Amerinus lacustris. We probably won't be able to catch them on camera though, so we won't waste our whole day trying to find them. I'll put a picture on screen now so you can have a look at what they look like. Here we have my only saltwater tank that I run, just a bit of a mixed reef. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what has happened at the top here, but we do have some dead corals there, which is really unfortunate. Have no idea what's going on there. In terms of the stock, we've got a pair of clownfish here. We've got royal dotty back there. Turn on your side. There we go. Beautiful bicoloured fish there. We've got a few of these little snails and inverts here to help clean up, and there is also some coral banded shrimp. They usually hide way at the back of this piece of rock here. They don't come out until the lights are off, and there is a little firefish in here too, but yeah, he's a bit elusive as well. But yeah, quite an enjoyable tank and a bit of contrast to the other tanks. And then we got blank canvas here, so I'll scape that out soon enough, and similar story with the 2 tanks at the top. Okay, so to get started, we'll get on the next section here. We've got 2 6-foot racks side by side, and they're 2 foot wide front to back. So I've got basically 2-foot tanks long ways in here to just maximize the space. So if we get started down the bottom, we've got my Daisy's rice fish down here. So really stunning little powder blue and red fish, and they do a really cool thing where they actually carry the eggs on the outside of their body and just sort of deposit them on plants as they're going through. So yeah, super stunning fish, and love this little colony. As well as that, there is a male betta hiding in amongst the Subwasitang in there somewhere. So yeah, pretty simple to maintain tank in here. Moving across, we've got some Kribensis in here, which I got from Aquamate, and they're doing really well too. So as with Kribensis, they continue to breed and then chase each other around and then breed again. So you've got a couple of very purple bellied females at the front, which is an indicator that they're ready to go again, and another really purple bellied one at the back too. So super stunning little dwarf cichlid, maybe one that you'll consider picking up. Next door, we've got some Kribensis again, but these guys are actually wild caught Kribensis. So these are Pelvicochromis sancromontis, and they're also commonly known as the green Kribensis or the giant Kribensis. But yeah, I'm keen to see how these grow up, and hopefully we've got a male and a female. And then we've just got some bristlenose that are left over because I used to have this as a bristlenose breeding tank. Next door, we have a bit of a fry grow out tank in here. So there's just a bunch of angelfish fry, and they continue to grow and thrive and be happy. And they're almost at the size now where I can consider putting them in the 4-foot tank we'll have a look at shortly. Moving up, we've got a couple of these DIY breeder boxes here. This one has convict cichlids in it, and this one has Golden Wonder panchaks in it. There's a little Golden Wonder panchaks. We will have a look at the adults shortly, so yeah, we'll take a look at what they look like. Keeping on moving across, we've got this super stunning Dumbo betta in here. He's nearly ready to get acquainted with the lady friend that I've got for him. And there is also a couple of Praecox rainbow fish way at the back in there. But yeah, just a male and a female of the Praecox rainbow fish back there, and hopefully I've got the spawning mop in there, but they haven't really made any eggs, so not sure what the go is there, but hopefully we can make some more of those soon. And then up in the breeder box, we've got some more of the Golden Wonder panchaks in here, and I think that's about it. Yeah, just a dozen or so Golden Wonder panchaks in here growing out. Moving up, in this tank we've got my Apistogramma Mcmaster. These are the fry that are growing out from a spawn that I got quite a while ago, so they're full adults now. You can see a couple of them just at the base of this little flower pot in here. And yeah, pretty stunning looking fish. It looks like I don't have any females left, unfortunately. So I've tried a few of the sneakier sort of ones and they don't appear to be exactly females, which is pretty unfortunate, but we'll keep trying and hopefully we can get another spawn out of these guys. Next door we've got some Peppermint Bristlenose in there. I have bred these guys before, so hoping to make some more of them. And then as well as that, we've got some blue panchaks in there as well, which you can just see at the back playing around in the plants. So there's 4 blue panchaks and Peppermint Bristlenose, and I find this is a really great combination because the Peppermint Bristlenose stay 100% of the time at the bottom of the aquarium, and the blue panchaks stay at the top of the aquarium. So pretty straightforward. Nobody messes with each other. So there you go. You can have a look at these blue panchaks now. But yeah, some really nice colours in them, and yeah, super stoked to have picked these guys up. Moving across, we've actually got a very unusual empty tank. So not exactly sure what I'm going to do with this one just yet. I'm just cleaning the soil out because I want to basically have it as a bare bottom tank and just fill it up with these pots that I've been filling up. So it's been a bit of a work in progress, and yeah, I was going to do some more on that today, but I didn't want to dirty it up before this video. Next door we've got some Apistogramma Mcmaster Fire Golds in here, and then at the top are the adult Golden Wonder panchaks. So unfortunately we do have to look at these through a breeder box, but there you go, you can, one's come out to play there. So the male is the one with the yellow and red body, and then the female is the more plain colour one there. But there should be 4 adults in there, and they are a spawning mop breeder again. Then inside the breeder box here we've got some Apistogramma cacatoides. So I was really happy to get a spawn of cacatoides, especially because shortly after the parents basically attacked each other to the point that they are no longer with me. So super critical that I keep these cacatoides alive, happy and healthy now, and we'll grow them out and get another pair. But the male was really stunning, so hopefully we've got some great genetics going in there. Next door here we've got 4 of these paradise fish, which if you're not familiar with paradise fish, they're kind of like a cold water betta. They're in the Gourami and betta family, so they're an anabantoid, which means they breathe oxygen from the surface. As well as that, we've just got some cull guppies from my koi tuxedo line. So these ones aren't exactly, you know, that pure of a koi tuxedo. So I'm really looking for that orange nose and black body. So some of these don't have those traits, but you know, they're still a good looking fish, so they can come and live in here with the paradise fish. Then moving up, we've got another scape here that I'm yet to do anything with. Next door we have some really nice looking Odessa barbs in here. I actually am really infatuated with these fish at the moment, and I'm in the process of getting them in a nice big tank, which we'll have a look at shortly as well. But this is the Scaping from Scraps tank here that I put together following Rachel O'Leary's little fun competition. Next door again we've got nice little Iwagumi sort of scape here, just with some dragonstone, some more of the Cal koi tuxedos at the top, and then there are some yellow cherry shrimp in amongst the Monte Carlo here. But this tank here is no filter, no heater, no nothing, so super easy one to maintain, and yeah, so it's pretty successful so far. So I started this as a dry start method. 6 weeks we let the Monte Carlo grow in, and here we are. Next door we have some fry from the Apistogramma Mcmaster Fire Golds, which we just saw. So there's a nice decent amount of fry in here, which I'm pleasing to see, and yeah, we'll just let them grow out and do their thing. So that's it for the first 6-foot rack. We'll get moving on to the second one now. So starting from the bottom once again, down here we've got some German white Tuxedo Guppies. I quite like the tuxedo lines. I just like the contrast between the body and the tail. So you can see a nice little male there. Beautiful looking fish, and I like the white finish. And then at the top of this aquarium we've got some of these platinum half beaks. So these are wrestling half beaks, platinum variety, and they're a super cool looking fish. A live bearer again, and I do have a care guide on these guys, so if you're interested in that I'll put a card above now. But yeah, really fascinating fish, and I like the white, yellow and red contrast. I think they are really fascinating looking. But you certainly want to keep lids on for these guys because they're prolific jumpers. And next door we've got my dragon guppies. So these are a super true breeding line here, which I've had for a long time. This is probably 5th or 6th generation here, so yeah, I've maintained this line for a long time, and I've barely had to do any sort of quote-unquote culling to maintain the line. So been super happy with these guys, and yeah, they've done well. And then downstairs we have some more Peppermint Bristlenose. I did just want to split the line, just a bit of a contingency plan. And then upstairs we got some more common Bristlenose in here. There's an albino female and then a couple of common males, and that's because I want to sort of breed more albinos, and there are albino babies in here, so that's good to see. You can see a couple just there actually, so pretty happy with that. We got some cherry shrimp in here, which is nice, and then we've got some of the actual koi Tuxedo Guppies. So you can see there, that's exactly what I'm looking for, that real red nose, black body, and then orangish fins. Similar with the females, although that female, I wish she didn't have the spots on her tail, but we're working through the line, and hopefully we can come out with something pretty high quality in the end. And then moving across is one of my pride and joys. These are my pea puffers. So I've got 4 pea puffers in here. Luckily they're all on screen ready to go, so that was well coordinated. Well done, pea gang. And yeah, these are a super cool personality little fish here. They do move their eyes independently, which is pretty awesome, and yeah, just a very unique fish. So they're super hard to come by in Australia because they're illegal to import, so it's only what's in the country already that are available to purchase. So I'm very, very lucky to have 4 on my person, and I'll certainly be trying to breed these guys in the next couple of months. So I think they're at sexable size now, and I've spotted at least a female and at least 1 male, so we might separate them out into one of the little cubes and try and breed these pea puffers. So if you're looking forward to that, then hit the subscribe button, and yeah, keep an eye out for that video coming soon. Moving up, we've got some of the honey blue eyes. I like to keep this tank fairly dense with vegetation, so they're not going to be the easiest things to spot in here, but there are about 6 or so honey blue eyes. Oh yeah, one's swimming around at the back there by the looks of it. But these guys did really, really well outside in the pond over summer, so I'm counting down the days until the season warms up again and we can put them back outside and try and make more of them. So started off with the trio, we've got about 5 or 6 now, so that's progress at least. Next door to them, we've got another no filter, no heater tank here with some Bloody Mary shrimp in there. So pretty happy with this line. They're showing some nice coloration and they are breeding really nicely. So the hair grass as well has grown in pretty well. And yeah, I just like to keep this tank fairly simple, but I think it's come up pretty well. So once again, fairly low maintenance, set and forget type tank. Next door to them, we have some Blue Dream shrimp in here. So you can see through all the algae. Yeah, just some nice blue coloured shrimp in there. And then there are some pygmy cories as well. They tend to hang around by the sponge filter. Oh yeah, there's some of the pygmy cories coming through now. So I'm really happy to see that schooling behaviour is back again. They used to school very, very tightly, and then it's taken a long time for them to be confident enough to start schooling again. So I'm very, very pleased to see the pygmy cories are back at it with the schooling behaviour. So really nice tank again. We've got a sort of a bookshelf profile here. There is a breeder box on the front, obviously, unfortunately, but yeah, pygmy cories and Blue Dream shrimp I think make a pretty good combo. Next door again, we've got some sparkling gouramis, or also known as pygmy gouramis in here. So yeah, super cool little fish, and there are 4 of them in there, so I'll be trying to breed those guys too when I get the chance. But yeah, they make a really funny croaking noise, which is pretty fun to hear. And it does throw you off sometimes when you're just sitting in here editing a video or whatever, and you just hear this little noise like someone's clacking together some rocks. So we'll try and capture that one day and show you guys. Okay, so next door, you probably wouldn't have seen this tank yet. This is a tank that got a recent rescape, so we try and have a look in here. I'll ignore this rock right here because that's just holding down the log there, but I tried to create a bit of a sort of deserty feel, and I think it came up pretty well. It does have to grow in. Obviously the green Monte Carlo and the red from the ADA Africana really contrasts against each other, so it's hard to sort of picture one from the other. But in time, once it fills out, I think it'll be a nice looking scape, and I'm excited to see how it goes. So the reason I wanted to switch to the orange sort of colour is because we got some black cherry shrimp in here, and they just show up a lot better on a more reddy coloured substrate rather than the black substrate which we had prior. And some CPDs as well. Oh, I just had one, there you go. So you got a male CPD right there at the front. And then there are some royal whiptail cats in here as well, somewhere. But there's 4 royal whiptails as well. They're probably on the wood there somewhere. And then in terms of the CPDs, we've got baby CPDs in here somewhere. In terms of the CPDs, we've got some baby CPDs in this breeder box here. So nice healthy batch going in there. And then also in this DIY fry keeper thing here, we've got more CPDs as well. So super happy with these, and we are slowly creating our little army of CPDs. Do our best to get thousands of them. And then in this tank here, we've got some, this is a 3-foot tank. We've got some Gertrude pseudomogils in here, the spotted blue eyes. So there's about 10 of them in there, I think. We've got some Ginkgo rubra endlers, but the females we did lose, so I just put in some blonde of the koi Tuxedo Guppy females that we had spare to try and make some Ginkgo rubra hybrids, because yeah, it was really unfortunate that we lost the female there. Also in here there is some, well, there is also this better down here, which is a koi better, and somewhere, oh yeah, down here, we've got some Colombian zebra plecos here too. So there's 4 of those guys in here. Let's see if we can move him out of the way. Didn't really work, did it? Kinda did. So yeah, beautiful looking pleco. Happy that I've got 4 of those guys in here, and yeah, hopefully we can breed those too. But yeah, I just enjoy doing these pot plants because I've said it before, but it's really convenient. You can move them around. If you need to catch fish, you can take them all out It makes life easier. You use less aqua soil, so that's good. And also, if you set up a new tank, you can just take one out, put it in the new tank, and it's kind of like seeding it with bacteria, because there'll be bacteria growing on all of this little gravel and the plants and everything. So quite like this technique. It seems to be working wonders for me. I know it's not everybody's taste in terms of the looks, but functionality wise, I certainly think it's on to a winner. Okay, so moving along here now, we have my row of 4-foot tanks along here. So we'll get started and take a look. So in here we've got my male Freshwater Stingray. He's a 50-50 Motoro Black Diamond, and I think he's got some really beautiful patterning on him. I will have a larger tank lined up for this guy soon. I've actually got one outside, it's just a matter of fitting it inside the room, but yeah, we might be moving house soon anyway, so yeah, just maybe I'll just move him straight into a new tank over there. We got 5 striped silver dollars here. We got some orange head Geophagus, the orange head Taphoe, and we've got an Australian native Saratoga in here as well. So really awesome tank. Next to no aggression in here at all, and yeah, pretty fun tank to watch. The kids especially loved coming in and checking out the Stingray. So pretty good tank, and yeah, just make sure they have the heaters all covered and everything, and yeah, pretty straightforward. Now, because stingrays are a big ammonia producer, I do grow these plants immersed out of the top. So I've got one there and one at the back. Actually, the one at the back doesn't look like much from that angle, does it? But goes all the way down here. And I like that because I can't put plants inside the tank because the silver dollars will just eat them. So rather than that, we'll grow them out the top, and we'll get the benefits of live plants without the hassle of having to replace them all the time. Moving along, we've got some bigger American cichlids in here. So we've got a Jaguar Cichlid in here, who's the boss. We've got a Jack Dempsey hiding back there, and we've got a nice little flower horn in here, and a pair of convicts. So this tank, in all respects, should be a bit of a recipe for disaster, but every one of these fish have equal aggression levels, so it seems to work out pretty well. They do bicker and things like that, like we're seeing there, but for the most part, they sort of just leave each other alone, and the hierarchy is worked out. So things might always change, like it could always get to tomorrow and one will be slightly bigger than the others or whatever, but getting them all at small sizes and keeping them together seems to have done the trick for compatibility on these guys. Moving across, we've got this 4-foot planted tank in here, and this contains my red turquoise discus, some angelfish that I've grown out from spawns, which I'll show you the adults soon, some Bozeman rainbow fish, and that does it for this tank, apart from some Siamese algae eaters and bristlenose plecos. But this is a nice little planted tank to sit back and watch. I quite enjoy the plant growth in here. Very peaceful sort of tank to watch. In terms of plants, we've got red tiger lotus, blixar, AR mini. We got an Apistogramma Mcmaster there, some Ludwigia repens back there. We got Pogostemon stellatus up the back, Ludwigia Reuben, and I'm not quite sure what this one is. It might be a Rotala macrandra, and some Rotala rotundifolia. So awesome tank, and it seems to be balancing out pretty well now, so happy with the progress on this one. Then moving across, we just have a bit of a workspace that I do unboxings and things on, and then we got another planted tank here. So this one has some more rainbow fish in it. We've got some turquoise rainbow fish, there's one of those there. We've got some red rainbow fish. That's a young male there. The big males over here. We've got Splendida rainbow fish right here, and we've got some black banded rainbow fish here. Then this is the mother of all the angelfish you're seeing apart from this pair. So that's the mum and that is the dad, and from them we've got all of these little angelfish babies here, plus a bunch that I've sold and moved on. And then other than that, we've got some little rummy nose tetras in here as well. We do have some Corydoras, but they are always fairly elusive. We'll see if we can track some down. But yeah, they're very active at night, but then through the day they sort of hide in here amongst their crypts and whatnot. But there's about 8 of those cories, I think, in this tank. So yeah, once again, we got the flower pot technique here, and you can get an idea of what it looks like when everything sort of grows in. So another really fun tank to watch. And there's a really giant old Siamese alligator that I've had for quite a long time. So that's how big they get. Keep that in mind if you're picking up some to control some blackbeard algae. Okay, so that does it for this aisle of the fish room. We'll move on to the next aisle now, which is just over the back. To give you another view of what we've had a look at so far. So I like to do the 2 aisles technique, I guess, because it just makes life easy for water changes and things. And then on the other side, we've got some storage, some hardscape, stands, tools, and all that sort of functional stuff. But then on this side, we'll keep moving. So this tank here, I've got two better spawns actually that I've grown out. Try and find some. They are very, very small still. Oh yeah, you can. There's a little baby betta. Oh, there's 2 bettas there just swimming around, trying to catch some brine shrimp and things like that I've put in. So yeah, they used to be in a little 20-litre tank, but I thought we might as well just put them in here, let them grow out, do their thing, and they'll have plenty of space to move and things like that as they grow older. So I think that's all that's in here for the moment. Just about maybe 100 or so bettas. Next door we've got another sort of meadow sort of aquascape that I was trying to create with just a bunch of different plants to sort of look like a bit more of an untamed sort of landscape. And then in here we've got some Japanese rice fish platinum variety. So this tank is unheated, no CO2 or anything like that. Moving down, we've got some blue Keri tetras, some black Keri tetras, and a pair of honey gouramis. As well as that, there is some mystery snails in here too. So this tank I treat as a little bit of a quarantine tank, just monitoring fish and stuff like that when I get them in. But all these fish are happy, healthy, and ready to come out now. So they'll soon be moving into other tanks and scapes. Next door to them we do have some Liquorice Gouramis here. So that was very well timed. Usually they're not out the front like that, but super cool little fish as well that got sort of in a mystery box. So I was happy to receive these, and yeah, hopefully we can get these guys breeding as well. And there's 4 of them and they're all on screen now. So yeah, happy to see that. And then in a breeding box off to the side here, we've got some emerald raspberries. We'll have a look at the adults shortly as well, but there's about half a dozen or so emerald raspberries in this little breeding box. If we move up now, we've got my betta sorority here. So I think there's, I always lose count, but I think there's about 7 female bettas in here. All sorts of types. We got this Dumbo female here who's going to be the girlfriend to that Dumbo male. Just your sort of normal placat female there. Got a koi female here at the top, and yeah, so some of these are babies that I've grown up from fry, and others are things like that one I won in that same competition, and then others I got that one picking up a second-hand tank and things like that. So they all have their own little story, but yeah, they do pretty well in this tank, I find. That one is just sleeping there. It's no cause for concern. They do funny things, and yeah, they seem to enjoy this little aquascape. There's plenty to keep them entertained. And then in this breeder box here, we've got some more of the emerald raspberries. But yeah, you can see they're super tiny, just scooting around the tank. And there's a lot more than meets the eye with these. There's probably 40 or so, I think, in this box alone. So pretty happy with that spawn. Moving across now, we've got another 3-foot tank here. This has the adult emerald raspberries, and then just this one male betta here, that he was one that I grew up from a fry. and the emerald rasboras, when they grow up, they look like this. So they're in the same family as CPDs, which is kind of strange. They're actually not a rasbora, they're a danio, but super easy to breed, nice colours. You get some dark body with some stripes and then red colours on the fins. So yeah, I think they can make a really great addition to your aquascape and things like that. The only downside is they are pretty skittish unless you get them in a decent group of say a dozen or so. Then you'll start to really notice the personalities come out. But for the most part, I really like these fish, and it's pretty great. As you can see, I've got my computer here where I do most of my editing and stuff like that. So every single day I'm editing the dailies. Then I do a video every day. So every day I'm here editing and get to sit back and look at this when I'm waiting for things to render or whatever. And then the last tank here that we've got to look at is my low river scape, which has the Michelin Shrimp in it. So Michelin Shrimp here are a cross between crystal shrimp and bee shrimp. So we've got some here that look very much like crystal black shrimp, but they could also be King Kongs or something like that. There's another one there. And then there'll also be shrimp in here that will look like crystal reds, or like that one under there. And then there'll also be shrimp in here that will just be a sort of honey color, like a gold sort of color, and they'll be your golden bees. So pretty fun tank. I'm just monitoring the water conditions really closely to make it optimal for these guys. Oh, you can see there's a goldy one just over there underneath. But yeah, nice. I like this profile again, and I thought that the shrimp would be a good choice for this profile here. Being so low, you get maximum surface area for biofilm and things like that on all the substrate that they can sort of go through and eat on. And it just makes for the best viewing because they're all sort of, you know, within that much view of your eye line, so you seem to be able to pick them up a lot easier. Actually, there is one more tank that I haven't talked about yet. There's nothing in it now, just a seeded sponge filter and a heater, and this is where I'm going to put probably all of those Keri Tetras just over there, and all of the Odessa barbs as well. And I think that'll look really cool. I just want to put lots of plants and things in there first so that there's lots of room to move, just in case the Odessa barbs get a bit aggressive, and we'll have to make a bit of a lid for it as well. So there you go guys, that's the updated video. As you can see, a lot here happens every single month. We've got videos every single day. So if you like what you see, it'd be great to hit subscribe, like, and all that fun stuff. And I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.